La Mesa's police department was a focal point yesterday after video surfaced of what appeared to be an unlawful arrest in that city a time ago. Well, County Supervisor Diane Jacobs, she's joining us now by phone to talk more about the protest that's happening around our county. Supervisor, thank you so much for joining us. Are you there?
I'm here. Thank you for having me.
First of all, what we are seeing across the country and here in San Diego County, protests that turned violent. What were your thoughts just watching this unfold first?
Well, very, very unfortunate that it has come to this. The incident in Minneapolis was very, very bad, very tragic. Hopefully it's just one of a kind type of incident to that extent. But the police officer has been arrested, third-degree murder charges, and he should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. That doesn't mean that all law enforcement is bad. We have many law enforcement officers out there that are there to serve and protect, and we need to embrace them. But at the same time that we support peaceful protests, peaceful demonstrations, we also, as a community, need to come together and condemn the violence and the destruction that we saw in La Mesa and other parts of the country.
But really,
I think the only...
If I can just interject there, so La Mesa
Sure.
ended up being the target, the La Mesa Police Department, because of this video that showed this young black man being cuffed. Looked like he was being arrested without any reason. He had someone there, two people there actually, recording that. And I mean, whether these protests would have happened anyway or not, but it perfectly illustrates the frustration and the anger that some people feel in our community as if they are not being treated fairly by the police.
And believe me, I understand the anger, and I'm very upset, as people are upset. I grew up in La Mesa. I went to La Mesa schools, and I can tell you, honestly, my heart aches for the community and for others that are being affected by this. The outrage we're seeing is justified in La Mesa and other parts of the country. But I believe that we need to come together in a constructive way and not be destructive about this. And one way to do that, a path forward, is to bring everybody together and to denounce the discrimination and the bigotry that exists in our community today, and basically come up with some real solutions.
What do you think? What do you think that looks like for the Board of Supervisors? You have been working tirelessly during this coronavirus pandemic. San Diego has done such an incredible job. And now here we are faced with these poor businesses that were, destroyed, already being shut down for a couple of months. So what does that really look like, though? I mean, coming together, that's great, but what could that really look like? And starting, frankly, with the police department and foundationally changing maybe the way they bring people in. I'm just throwing that out there. But what does it look like to you, or what's the conversation at your level of leadership?
I don't have the answer to the questions, but I do have the ability to be a part of the recently created Human Relations Commission that the county just reinstituted. Supervisor Nathan Fletcher brought that forward, which was unanimously supported by the board, and I think bringing the right people to the table, we can come up with solutions. But I think the anger that we're seeing is there have not been concrete results and answers to stop the discrimination and the bigotry that exists within the law enforcement community.
It's certainly,
and that has to be done. I think that's the only way we will ultimately get to a solution. This is not a recent issue. It's been going on probably for 150 years. It has come definitely to the forefront of what happened in Minneapolis. Now it's come to San Diego, La Mesa, the city, and where else it may happen. But the time is of the essence in my mind. In order to put a lid on this and to come up with some answers, let's get the right people to the table, and let's keep the politics out of it and come up with some concrete ways that law enforcement and the community to come together and get some solutions, something that will work. And we all must be a part of the solution, not the problem.
You are absolutely right. Diane Jacobs, Supervisor Jacobs, thank you for giving us your time today. Really appreciate it. No doubt we'll be talking more in the coming days. Thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to it.